With a final practice ahead of KC, Nick Sirianni provided a promising update on Dallas Goedert. Plus, Jurgens believes the running game will be better. Kevin Byard isn't so sure about Desai's game plan for Travis Kelce. Jordan Davis has the Chiefs' attention, but Jalen Carter's getting ridiculous hate. And the Eagles revealed the secret to the brotherly shove's success. But first, let's run it. Hey guys, alright, a little bit late getting the video out since I was with family, but let's start with the Eagles releasing their full team playlist in partnership with Verizon, including artists like Meek Mill, Lauryn Hill, Will Smith, The Roots, Boyz II Men, and several others, so I've got a link in the description in case you want to check it out. And also, the Birds revealed that they will be iced out for Monday night's game, where they'll be on the road, and obviously we've seen several of those this season, but with more than a couple practically being home games, Sirianni has the team doing whatever it takes to be ready for the hostile environment at Arrowhead.
Yeah, it'll be rowdy. It will be really rowdy. We know that. We understand that. Every time you go there, you have to prepare for the noise, and that's our weekly process throughout the week. When we're here, our defense practices with noise because we know it's going to be rowdy here. When we're away, the offense practices for noise, and so that's just our standard operating procedure, and so it was like that this week. We had it up loud, the music during practice, and we'll be ready to go with our snap counts and with our communication.
I love it, although not really a surprise that the Birds are focusing on the details. For example, since there's also rain in the forecast, Sirianni and the staff were throwing water at the special teams unit during practice so that they're ready for all the potential elements. I mean, this is honestly what makes the Birds so good.
I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
Okay, that's probably a bit too much. Yet there's no denying that Monday night's matchup features the two best coaches in the NFL, with Andy Reid and Nick Sirianni having the highest winning percentages among NFL head coach since 2021. But as we know, these aren't the same teams from the Super Bowl, which both coaches have made sure to remind several times this week, since offensive coordinator Shane Steichen is gone and former Chiefs OC Eric Bieniemy is in Washington. But like Joseph Santoliquito pointed out, that's led to some problems for the KC offense. Writing, the Chiefs have had an issue with the receivers making plays, which does not help when the receiving core is dropping an NFL-high 8% of Mahomes' passes, and Mahomes has completed 7 touchdowns to the Kansas City receivers and thrown 5 picks when targeting them. Plus, Kansas City has no deep threat. However, the Chiefs do have Travis Kelce down the middle of the field. Yeah, a constant Eagles weakness on Desai's defense this season, with Joseph asking, will Andy Reid and Matt Nagy exploit it Monday night, or will Desai have some answers to counter it? Well, we can definitely hope. Perhaps Reid Blankenship, since the second-year safety said he's really looking forward to the challenge of shutting down Travis Kelce, which I don't think there's any denying. The Ghost has been the most consistent DB for us. However, even if Desai changes up the alignments and goes with a little bit more dime like he's hinted at, Kevin Byard isn't so sure that'll work.
He's seen a lot of defenses. He's one of those guys who's seen, him try to get, teams are going to try to double him, teams are going to play all type of different bracket coverages to him, so he knows how to find open holes in whether if it's zone or also in man. And obviously him and Pat Mahomes have a great rapport with each other. They kind of just, they know what each other's going to do before he does it. So, and that gives him the freedom to be able to kind of freestyle some of his routes and things like that. So that makes it a tough cover because a lot of times when you're going against different players, they're running routes based upon what the play's called. The lines drawn on a piece of paper is a total opposite with him. He can end up just, like I said, if he sees the guys outside, he might just stop, run back the other way, and Mahomes is going to find him. So, like I said, a Hall of Fame player for sure.
A little bit of backyard football with those two, it sounds like.
It really is.
Okay, I think all of us would agree that we've seen way too much ad-libbing from Kelce and Mahomes. Of course, it'll help if we can get to Mahomes and not allow him to keep the play alive, but like we've experienced, sorry, I know, for the reminder, that's terrible, but sacking 15 just doesn't happen very often. In fact, the KC QB's only been brought down 12 times through 9 games so far, as opposed to Jalen Hurts' 22 over the same duration, which is why I'm with Thomas Peterson, who said Monday night will be a great skill test for Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, who have been so good to start the season, get a chance to go against a terrific Joe Thuney, Trey Smith, and Creed Humphrey in the Chiefs' interior. Now, yeah, you guys know I've talked about Josh Sweat and Haason Reddick, and I feel like they've definitely got something to prove, but I think collapsing the pocket is key. And the difference this year, though, is that Jordan Davis is on another level. I mean, yeah, we've seen the 6'6", 350-pound DT have a significant impact so far, while also clearly being in a much better place with his conditioning, with the 23-year-old already exceeding his entire snap count and production from last season through only 9 games. But the most surprising element was seeing JD not take any time off during the bye week, as the Dancing Bear was back in Georgia, consistently getting in workouts to keep up that endurance ahead of the Kansas City matchup. And like JD admitted, this isn't the type of stuff he would have been as motivated to do last season. Plus, Sirianni is hyped to see the second-year starter getting in the extra work, saying he understands that everybody's counting on him, so he's really busted his butt to work because we need him on the football field, because we know how good of a football player he is. Man, I love it. I think it's just a testament to the leadership of the vets around him and the influence of Jalen Carter being with him. Since remember, when the Breadman was drafted, the reports were saying that JC was having a bigger impact on Jordan and motivating his work ethic than what people might have expected. I mean, I think it's obvious, but there just wasn't a better place for Carter to go than Philly. However, not surprisingly, there's always haters. And as you probably know by now, Jalen responded to the alleged police incident that happened at a Center City Target store.
Oh, nah, probably just a misunderstanding. I don't really know too much about that.
Alright, like what's he supposed to say? Look, I guess at least this question was asked there instead of at a Thanksgiving dinner JC hosted for kids just a few days ago when an Inquirer reporter asked the question then. And I covered some of this in that video, but why on earth are some people hating on Jalen's response? Like Les Bowen, for instance, who said seriously unimpressed with Carter's handling of this. It's not a huge deal in and of itself, but you're a professional. Time to grow up. I'm sorry, and you want him to do what? Apologize for something that didn't happen? Like he didn't actually steal something. Which is why I'm with Greg Richards, who followed up responding to Les with, there was no arrest and no police report filed. It seems all sides agree it was simply a misunderstanding. It seems like the misunderstanding was with his girlfriend and store, and he was just there to carry bags. So really, what should he have done to get your approval? Right, plus I can guarantee you he's taking the advice of his legal team anyway, so I don't know. But honestly, it feels like some people just love to hate. But what do you guys think about all this? You know what, let's get back to football. So the Eagles have been watching game film like usual, yet despite not wanting to see the Super Bowl tape earlier in the week, Jordan Mailata said it's proven to be very useful.
It's also a leg up because you can see the similarities from last year and this year from both sides, and you can kind of learn from it. Actually, not kind of, you can. It's pretty evident.
Great, I hope we do learn from it, especially in the area of the running game, because outside of Jalen's numbers in the Super Bowl, the running game was pretty much non-existent, as the backs went 17 carries for 45 yards.
Not good.
No, it's not, but Cam Jurgens is officially back and feels confident in making an impact with the film he's been watching while out injured.
Yeah, I think it helps, watching guys and helping coach and staying involved in a meeting. Since I was out rehabbing, trying to get everything healthy, I was trying to stay mentally sharp and being in the meetings and helping the guys that are out there doing what I can. So I guess seeing it from a little backed up spot.
Honestly, I'm glad for a couple reasons. One, because we get to see how much of an impact Beef Jerky really makes in the running game. After all, Jason Kelce said the ground attack is only one piece away, so kind of alluding to Cam, but also I'm curious to see how much more effective Jalen is on the ground now that his knee is 100%. Although there's one play we know works regardless of injury in the brotherly shove, which apparently has the Chiefs coaches arguing about the best way to stop it, with Kansas City DC Steve Spagnuolo and D-line coach Joe Cullen having been discussing short yardage situations ever since defeating Philly in the Super Bowl. And all I can say is good luck to you, because you really can't stop it. Which the two basically agreed with, coming to the realization that they have to treat every set of downs like it's 1st and 8.
That's not fair!
Well, sorry, you could do it too, except you don't have a Scottish rugby expert. In case you're not sure what I'm referencing, the Eagles brought in longtime Scottish Rugby Union coach Richie Gray to help devise the league's most successful play. However, according to the Inquirer's Olivia Reiner, at first the Eagles planned for Gray to take a look at the Eagles' tackling, from the techniques they teach to the drills they utilize. But before he arrived, offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland contacted Gray and asked him if he would also like to spend a day with the offense. He had a play, the Tush Push, that he wanted to show Gray, seeking his opinion on both how he would break it up and how he would make it better. Of course, naturally, Gray didn't really share any other secrets to the Inquirer other than that, but he did say you can see why they're a good team, because any coaching groups that want to get 1% better and will look anywhere to do that, it's all marginal gains, isn't it? You know they're on the right track. I'm telling you, I know there's times that we harp on the X's and O's, which is totally warranted, by the way, but I'd argue there's more than just the cheerleading behind the scenes, especially talking about Sirianni's influence, than most of us realize. Sure, I get that the roster is immensely talented, but you don't just stumble into a 31-12 record. But while we're talking about that talented roster, Sirianni did provide a promising update on Dallas Goedert.
We have high hopes that Dallas is going to be back. Again, I don't know when. I think that's unfair to Dallas, but yeah, there's a reason he's not on IR yet.
Yeah, makes perfect sense to me, which is what I've been saying for the past couple of days. So really, you've just got to have a stopgap for the next 3 games. And personally, I'm pretty confident we can do that. All right, one other unrelated piece of news I wanted to touch on was that former Eagles linebacker Myles Jack is looking like he may be headed to Pittsburgh after Ian Rappaport reported that Myles Jack and the Steelers have mutual interest in a reunion for him to join their practice squad. Wait, didn't this dude just retire from the NFL to become a plumber? I mean, I get it if he wants to come back and play, but it's just odd that we're now up to 2 linebackers who have willingly chosen to leave the roster in Myles Jack and also Rashaan Evans, who was here for a minute. And while I've seen some suggesting, oh, that's a bad look on Desai, I don't really think so. Maybe those guys just realized Zach Cunningham and Nicholas Morrow weren't ever going to give up their roster spots. Yet I won't lie, it is a little bit weird. Curious if you guys have any theories on why the linebackers are leaving Philly. Okay, just want to say thank you all for the support as we're coming up on 30,000 subscribers in less than 9 months since starting the channel. So would love it if you guys want to join the watch party on Monday night where we'll be live with reactions and highlights and really just having an awesome time. But make sure to turn those notifications on because I've got a pretty sweet announcement coming soon. Until next time, this has been the Philly Special.